Hey guys, it's me, Schlee, and from the background and the fact that I'm in my car, you can probably guess what today's video is going to be. It is another grocery challenge, and I'm very excited about it. I also have what I consider to be a killer meal plan for this challenge. I am really happy with how I managed to work out the meal plan. I think I came up with some great ideas. In this video, I'm taking advantage of store sales and coupons, which means I'm able to get quite a few different things, and I'm excited to show them to you. So let's get our shopping done. I'll do a little haul, and then we will start cooking as always. I'm making sure that everything matches what I have on here. So the strawberry. So this is what I'm talking about with store deals. This sour cream is only $1 right now, so I'm gonna get one of these, and I think that's a pretty good deal. Y'all see the squirrel? He's posing. He's so cute! Hey guys, I'm back from the store and I'm in my grocery haul corner, so we know what's coming. Let me go ahead and show you everything I got. Again, I think this was a great haul and I'm super excited to make these meals. First things first, I have a large container of whole milk plain yogurt. As y'all saw in the video, I had a coupon for this, so this was actually free. Originally it was about $3. Some sliced Colby Jack cheese, a can of diced chilies, which I'm going to be putting with this cornbread mix to make a really nice green chili cornbread. I've got a small container of sour cream here. This is 8 ounces, 5 bell peppers, some ground turkey that is taco seasoned. I'm going to be making some taco stuffed bell peppers. I've also got chicken broth back here, a pound of fresh strawberries, a dozen eggs, a loaf of fresh made Italian sliced bread, 2 cans of beans. I've got 1 can of black beans and 1 can of pinto, along with 2 cans of tomato paste, some flour tortillas, just the small ones, a box of garlic knots, and that's everything I actually bought today. You probably saw this pizza back here. I did not buy this pizza today. I bought this a while ago while I was at Walmart, which is where I was shopping today, and I wanted to save it for a meal challenge. As you can see, it was on clearance for $4.49, which is a great deal for this pizza. It actually has 4 servings in it. So I'm gonna be incorporating this into my meal challenge today, or my meal challenge this week. So that's everything I have. Like I said, this meal challenge was especially focused on using coupons and store deals. So the yogurt coupon, the rollback on the sour cream, this pizza that was on clearance. I like to keep an eye out for those things and buy them when I can, even if I'm not doing a specific meal challenge, just because I know I can use them in the future. So that's definitely something I recommend to y'all as well. Try and look for those deals, buy them when you can, and you can make use of them in the future. As far as my meal plan for this week, I'll be doing some breakfast tacos along with a little yogurt parfait with berries for breakfast, or you can also do that for a snack. Lunch is going to be a tomato soup or sort of a tomato bisque style soup with grilled cheese, and then for dinner we're going to be having pizza and garlic breadsticks some days, and then some days we're going to be having those taco stuffed peppers. So I think it sounds delicious personally, and I'm very excited to share these meals with you. So let me get this stuff put away and then we'll start cooking. As usual, here is the overview of everything that I bought today, excluding the pizza, which I already explained. And here is my receipt. As you can see, my total was $28.16 after that coupon. And then adding on the pizza, which is about $5, I'm still under $35 for the whole week. I'll put the actual total right here, which is awesome because I wanted to do less than $5 a day for this challenge, and I definitely succeeded. Okay guys, let's get started talking about pantry staples. For this meal challenge, the only things you're going to need from your pantry are butter and salt and pepper. That's it. I will mention a couple of optional items, but for the actual meals I'm preparing, this is all you're going to need. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to breakfast, which is going to be breakfast tacos. Here I've got some butter melted in a skillet, and I am checking it for temperature, and then I'm just going to pour in 1 beaten egg, To that, I'm adding a few spoonfuls of black beans. I believe if my math is correct, this works out to be about 2 ounces of black beans. I had a 15-ounce can, so over 7 days, that's about 2 ounces per day. I'm going to just add those in and then go back to scrambling up this egg. This is super, super simple, of course. It's just scrambled egg with black beans. I did season mine with salt and pepper. If you had extra money or you happen to have on hand some salsa or a little bit of cilantro, something like that to dress this up, that would be super good. But I didn't have that this week, so we're just working with what we've got. Here I've got one tortilla that I'm piling high with this egg and black bean mixture. To be honest, I definitely could have made 2 tacos, but at this point I had committed to just one, so this one is going to be stuffed, as you can see. I did have a theme in this meal challenge of dropping food, so you'll see that throughout the meals. Then I'm topping my little taco there with a half a slice of sliced cheese that I bought. And on the side here, I have a little bit of the yogurt that I bought as well. The whole milk yogurt that I got with that coupon, and I'm just topping that with some strawberry slices to add a little bit of sweetness and flavor. This is plain yogurt, which does take some getting used to, I'm going to be honest. I like it now, I've been eating it for a while, but you could also add some honey to this or a little bit of maple syrup if you wanted some sweetness to go with it, because otherwise it does kind of taste like sour cream. This was a delicious breakfast. I thought it came together really well. Of course, you can make this bigger or smaller depending on what you want to eat that day, and you could totally make that yogurt parfait its own breakfast if you wanted to. That is breakfast number 1. Now, moving on to breakfast option technically number 3 here if you're counting the breakfast parfait by itself. I'm going to be making some strawberry jam, starting off just by adding some sugar to some strawberries in a pot here. This is a great way to use up leftover strawberries or ones that have gone mushy. I just let them sit with that sugar for a little while, and juice is coming out of the strawberries, as you can see there. Then I cooked them just for a little while until they turned into this sort of consistency, nice homemade jam consistency. And once it was done, it was ready to go. So I just got myself a piece of the Italian bread I bought this week and I toasted that up, spread it with some of this really good homemade jam. I did put this in a blender to get it a little bit more homogenized, I guess you could say, but that is totally optional. And then that was another breakfast for me, toast and jam, which is a classic. It's hard to beat. And now let's talk about lunch. By the way, I hope the Under the Sea theme is enjoyable to y'all this time around. For lunch here, we're going to start off by making some tomato soup. I'm going to put 1 can of tomato paste into this pot right here. This can was fighting me a little bit, but I managed to get everything in there in the end. To that, I'm adding some chicken broth. I'm also pouring it all over my stove. Just going to add that into the tomato paste. And then with my handy dandy whisk, I'm going to whisk it all together, and then the tomato soup's done. Eat up, guys. No, I'm kidding, of course. So I'm just whisking that together until the consistency comes together. Of course, it wasn't very combined at first, but we're working that in. And I added a little bit of chicken stock each time just because I didn't want my soup to end up being too watery, so I was careful about how much I was adding here. Again, this all depends on preference, so if you prefer a thicker tomato soup or a thinner tomato soup, do whatever you like. You could also thin this out with water if you wanted to make it stretch even further. So once it was all mixed up, I just put it on to simmer for a while just to heat through pretty much because it doesn't need to cook exactly. And I tasted it for seasoning and tested it for consistency. Again, I just seasoned this with some salt and pepper, but if you had some basil or some garlic, that would be really good in here, some heavy cream, just to make it feel a little fancier. There's nothing wrong with a good, simple homemade tomato soup, trust me. And then that was the last thing for the soup. Moving on to the grilled cheese, I've got some butter melting in a pan here. And of course, I'm just gonna lay down 1 slice of bread here in a minute. I'm not sure what I'm doing. This is a very long clip. Okay, here I come. There I am, okay. So once the pan was hot, I then laid down 1 piece of bread, there we go. And I added in 1 slice of the sliced cheese I mentioned earlier. These slices were very thick, so that was nice. And here I'm just kind of jigsawing them together so they cover the entire piece of bread since it wasn't a normal bread slice shape bread. I wanted to make sure the whole piece of bread was covered and that none of the cheese ran out onto the pan and got wasted. So I put that all together, then I topped it with the second slice of bread. And once that was nice and toasty, I went ahead and flipped it over. I did spread the butter out in the pan a little bit more too, just to help everything cook nicely. And there we go, we got some nice color on that side, as you can see. I did give it 1 more flip just to make sure it was nice and toasty all the way through, nice and melty. And then it was time to plate everything up. Like I said, this meal came together super fast. So I poured myself a bowl of soup and I cut my sandwich in half so you can see all that cheesy, melty goodness inside. So delicious. I could really go for a grilled cheese right now. Haven't had lunch yet. And there's everything plated up. Plus, I'm going to top my tomato soup with just a little bit of sour cream, just 1 dollop, as you would say. And this helps to give it some more fat, so it helps keep you full, and it gives it a little bit of a more rich and creamy flavor. So I'm giving that a mix, just a slight one. And then it's time for the taste test. And I gotta say, this was so good. I have never been a big fan of Campbell's tomato soup, but this homemade soup was really delicious. Gotta dip the grilled cheese in there. And that's it. You can't go wrong with grilled cheese and tomato soup. Now let's talk about dinner. My first dinner that I did this week, or the first two I did actually, were the pizza and breadsticks. As you can see here, I've got my breadsticks lined up and my pizza. This is after it all came out of the oven because I just cooked it according to the package directions. That wasn't very exciting. I didn't dress it up, but again, if you have some extra spices on hand, you can make an olive oil dipping sauce for the breadsticks. But I just kept it nice and simple, cooked it like it said on the package, and then served it up. I did eat half the pizza in one night and half another night, so I had a big serving. And then I had 2 breadsticks on each night, and so I had 2 breadsticks left over. So this was, of course, a very filling meal. Definitely no skimping on the portions here. And it was very delicious and nice and hearty. For the second dinner that I made this week, I went with taco stuffed peppers and green chili cornbread. Here I am boiling 2 halves of a bell pepper I just cut up myself, and I only boiled them for about 3 minutes just until they started to soften. While they were boiling, I mixed up the cornbread according to the package directions, so just the dry mix and some water. I gotta be honest, y'all, I really had questions about this this cornbread mix because I'm used to homemade cornbread, and I did not think this mix was gonna work out. It looked so watery, but as you can see, it started to thicken up. Then I added in my can of green chilies, which was very exciting according to my cameraman, and I mixed all that together. It did look pretty watery still, but you'll see it ended up baking up well in the end. I put that into a baking dish that I just lined with some butter and popped it in the oven. That was all there was to that. Here I'm breaking up that turkey. I did cook the entire pound of turkey at once, again, just to save some time for myself. And then once it was cooked, I added in the drained can of pinto beans that I bought and let those heat up as well. I did not season this any further. The taco seasoning in the meat itself was very good. Then once my peppers were boiled, I went ahead and filled them up with that taco mix. And again, here I am dropping food. I don't know what that was. I was having a big problem with that in this video. So I had to make sure to go back and pick everything up because I didn't want to waste anything and I wanted to have a nice filling dinner. So here I'm just filling up those peppers, like I said, making sure each one has a really good portion of the meat and bean mixture. I did pop those in the oven just for a couple minutes to finish cooking through, and then I plated it up with a slice of cornbread, which the package said that only made 5 servings of cornbread. I cut it into 8 slices, so I'm not sure about that. I also topped my peppers with a little bit of sour cream. Again, salsa would be really good here, or some shredded cheese if you have that. And as for the taste itself, I was very impressed with these. So I love stuffed peppers. The ground turkey was very good. I enjoyed the seasoning on that, and even the cornbread was good. Like I said, I'm used to homemade cornbread, so this cornbread was a little different, a little sweet, but the green chilies give it a nice kick, and overall it was very good. As always, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. You will find all of the recipes, meal plan, and everything else down below, so be sure to look out for that if you're interested in trying the foods that I made in this video. I'll see you in the next video, and I wish you some happy eating. Bye, guys!